Hello, everybody. It's the Pearlo Wisdom Show, and we're here live watching the Pearlo Wisdom Show. Here in, this is, of course, E-Money! We're going to be doing playoff stuff for days, my friends. It's going to be all playoffs all the time today. We're going to talk about our picks for each game, for each round, and we're going to talk about who may win the cup. We're going to talk about Hart trophies, probably, or not Hart, but the player of the year or player of the playoffs. My gosh, I can't.
Conn Smythe.
How you doing, buddy? Conn Smythe, yes.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Wow, my phone's blown off or blown up with the playoffs. Like, I got to flip my phone over. It's work time. I get so distracted with my ADD. I'm good, man. I'm good. This is the most pumped I've ever been to hop on this show. I love playoff hockey. It is the greatest playoffs in any sport. It's so intense. It's more intense than any war in American history. I'm ready to get this thing rocking. I'm guessing we'll just go division by division, what we think, how it's going to happen,
Yep.
that whole sort of thing. So it's totally up to you since it's your show, but I'm eager to talk about my division first, the East Division. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, no problems. I just lost me for some reason on our. For some reason, let's wait. Go ahead, keep on talking.
Okay, are we on? Are we on?
Yeah, I lost the video. You can't see me right now for some reason. I'm trying to figure
I can see you through the Skype thing, but through like the YouTube thing, I can't see you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. So I'm gonna. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, I left because I went and checked something out here. I left the broadcast thing that we're on. Where are you? There we are. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we'll see what happened. I don't know I don't know what's going on with this thing. Hopefully the NDI just captures right away. There we go. Should be good to go.
Okay, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
I don't see us on the YouTube thing now.
Give it a little bit of time. It's gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to restart or is it a
No,
continuation?
just keep on going. Oh, I forgot to wear my wig. I'll be right back.
All right.
But I got to fix the echo first. There's an echo.
Okay. It says there's 4 people waiting. I don't know if we're on the show yet.
We are on the show. Pretty sure we are. Media source off. Audio capture. Echo should be gone now. Are we still frozen? Okay, you guys. Yeah, okay. Steele says you can hear me.
Okay. Oh, Steele's in the comment thing?
He's right there. Yeah, Steele says. So we can go in the East. I got to get my wig on. I'll be right back. Start talking about the East. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, Pearl will be right back. Hopefully you all are listening, tuning in. We're so excited to talk about playoff hockey. Sorry about the technical issues. There's just been some stuff that just happens, and honestly not a big fan of Skype, but whatever, it is what it is. So the East, for those of you that don't know, I am a diehard Caps fan. I'm sure you can see some of the Caps stuff in my room right there. Well, actually my man cave, but whatever. Man cave sounds cooler. So anyways, yeah, playoff hockey, it is the best. More intense than any war in American history. All right, Caps and Bruins. So I am super stoked for this series. I know it's going to sound biased, but I'm not going to care how my swig. Uh, I know it's going to sound biased, but I don't care.
Having a
But
bad hair day.
yeah, I know it's going to sound biased, but I don't care. But the Caps and the Bruins would be the series that I'm most excited for going into the playoffs. Even if I wasn't a Caps fan, I would be jumping up and down, getting all hyped for this series. These two teams, in my opinion, are almost evenly matched. The last time these two teams played each other in the playoffs, Holtby was unknown. I didn't watch hockey back then in 2012. I was living under a rock. And we beat him in game 7 overtime. Joel Ward did his thing, whatever. I'm not going to go too much into it because that was almost 10 years ago, but I'm just saying that's the last time those two teams went at it in the playoffs. Bruins are 4-2-2 against the Caps in the regular season. I think the regular season series can be more of a factor this time around since teams are playing each other more than they would in a normal NHL year. I think in a normal NHL year, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think divisional people or divisional opponents of each other play like what 4 or 5 times maybe in a year or something like that. Not like 7 or 8 like this year. Bruins have gotten better since they acquired overrated Taylor Hall. Still a good player and definitely makes their team better. Made that second line better. Everybody knows how amazing the top line is with Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak. All three of those guys are still elite level NHL players. Tuukka Rask is just getting back healthy. And Swayman has been a pretty solid young goaltender for them. I think he's a rookie, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so yeah, it's going to be it's gonna be a very close series. And I don't know what you're thinking, Pearlo. I hate to say it, but I think the Bruins get it done in 7. I think they're going to get the better of the Caps this time around. I think they're getting hot at the right time. They're getting healthy at the right time. I was watching the Bruins and Caps a couple nights ago, the last regular season game, even though that game meant nothing. And like the announcers were like, "Yeah, this is like the healthiest the Bruins have been all year." And I'm looking at that lineup, I'm like, yeah, it probably is. And we're getting a little too banged up going into the playoffs. I think they're saying that Oshie's going to play game 1. I'm not sure about Carlson yet. I know Kuzi, I think, is still in the COVID protocol, and there's all this talk about Kuzi losing motivation and us trading him and all that other stuff. So I don't really know what to expect after that, but I just get the feeling that the Bruins are just there at like the perfect time. I think they're peaking at the right time. They're healthy. They're just gelling real well. And Tuukka Rask is an amazing goaltender. Definitely one of the top ones I would want in the playoffs.
Yeah, I just did a I just did an East Division uh, prediction thingamajigger. There's not too many people in here, so I imagine you're going to want to go check it out anyways. Imagine if Nashville wins a Stanley Cup or something like that. That would be epic in a way. No one would expect it. Uh, that would be epic, but I mean, no one expected them to come back and do what they've did so this year after they were looking so poor to start out with. So you just never know. Yeah, Saros has times in this year. We'll talk about that when we get to it, I guess. But Saros at times this year has looked like he could beat the world. So you never know. As far as Steele, if you could put that link in the comment section, and everybody, we have a playoff bracket. Right, we have a playoff bracket that you can join. We'll put the link in the comment section here. Go check it out. Attach yourself to it, and you can put your bracket down. Who you think's going to win and all of that. Like we're doing right now. We're doing the bracket right now. As far as Boston and Washington. Would I feel? I don't think I can get my wig in a ponytail. I could try. I'll see it.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on Boston and Washington. That's
Okay.
what I want to hear.
I just think going in, you got to go with Boston right now. It looks like it seems to me that COVID really affected them a lot, especially Samsonov. He wasn't really injured, but on the injured list, but they kept on playing Vanacek over and over again, and it wasn't because Vanacek was lighting it up really. So you have that question mark. How good is Samsonov going to be, or even is he going to play? If they're
I think Vitek's definitely our starter for sure.
if they're rolling with Vanacek, and they're going up against Rask, just that alone puts a pretty big edge at Boston's way.
Yeah.
And with all the other things you've said, there's been the turmoil with Kuznetsov that's happened a couple times this year, and one in particular that has now put him back on the COVID list again. Is he going to
Yeah.
be ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, that's something that I'm a little worried with. I think he'll eventually get in there, but I think if you're on the COVID list, what is it, like a 10-day quarantine or something like that? So I would imagine he probably wouldn't come back to us until like game 3. I don't know. I'm just spitballing there. I like I said, I just think we're just too. I don't know. I just feel like we're just too banged up going in. Boston's a really good team. If this was like a month ago, I probably would favor the Caps, but Boston's just doing everything right at the right time. And like you said, Tuukka Rask just puts it over the edge. I think Vitek has been a good goalie for this year. I've been thankful for what he's done this year. He's not playing at an elite level, but he has definitely exceeded expectations, and that was definitely unknown because prior to this season, it was supposed to be Samsonov #1, Lundqvist #2, and then Lundqvist has the heart thing out for the year. And then Samsonov gets COVID, and then Vitek's playing all these games, and then Samsonov came back and did relatively okay, and then Samsonov gets COVID again, and it's like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be something if like Vitek got hurt and then Craig Anderson just randomly steps in and just goes absolutely ballistic? Like it's just like, oh, who could have called that? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I don't know. Crazy things happen in playoff hockey. But yeah, Boston in 7. That's what I think.
Okay. I got him on. I got him. I know, disappointingly to you, I got him in 5 actually.
In 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it's not a Reardon coach team.
I just think I just think Washington's just coming into on not the right energy, and it's going to be a little difficult for them to do. Uh, uh, Laviolette, though, has shown in the past to have teams hit just boom. He's an amazing motivator and all of that. If he can get them going in the right direction, they certainly have. They've got plenty of offense in that lineup. Defense, I probably would give it to Washington. Boston's defensemen are fairly young and inexperienced, where Washington's got Chara, for instance. They have that angle. They're going.
Yeah, Chara against the Bruins is going to be very interesting. I am looking forward to seeing that.
Mercer said Bruins in 7. Okay, I should write these
Ooh.
down. Let's do that. Let's write them down, guys.
I can't even see these. Oh, I guess I have to refresh this page.
Oh, maybe. Let's go. Okay, we got Bruins, Washington. We'll do a little picks thing for fun here.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Why not? Why not do that? Bruins versus Capitals. Who had? I think it was Sorrell.
There we go. I see the show now. Sweet. I see all the comments. All right.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, good.
Makes me
Serrano
happy.
has 4. You're happy with Serrano. He's taking the Caps in 6.
Yay.
Yeah, Serrano, and Bill T's taking Bruins in 7. That seems to be the most common one.
Yeah, I mean, the Caps love to go to Game 7 too, and these two teams are pretty darn good. So I'm thinking 7, but again, it's hockey. You never really know.
Lauren has got the Bruins in 6, and Mercer's got the Bruins in 7. I'll put mine down too. And Pearlo, I got 5. I think they could just come out. I mean, if Washington can keep that energy up early and get them back on their heels, right away. Like that's the first game is going to be it's always important the first game, but it seems to me the most important one. This is one of the more important first games in a series.
I would agree with that because of the injury factor of Washington. I kind of get that feeling that like we would go down 2-0 early and then maybe be like too little too late. I could see something like that happening where Boston just goes up 2-0 and then it's like, oh crap, we're down 2-0. But I mean, again, it's hockey, you never know. Obviously I want the Capitals to win, but I have to think logically as much as I can, and I can just see Boston going on a deep run.
JP, did you put one in there? Yeah, I could see Boston going DPR too. I could see them winning the East. It's Tuukka Rask too, right? That's the thing. You've got Tuukka Rask, man. When he gets hot, forget about it. It is really tough to beat the Bruins if Tuukka Rask is hot.
That's true.
That's
That's another thing I'm worried about too.
yeah. If
And
but
he's just getting back.
well, last year he left and for an emergency,
Right,
and
right.
I don't that's not going to likely happen again. But I mean, he
No.
has had a tendency to be kind of injured and stuff like that. But even if they go down, even if he goes
Hmm.
down, you got this hot kid Swayman sitting there.
That's true. And also, let's not forget about the year before where they lost to the or when they lost to the Blues in like one of the best Cup finals I've seen. Rask arguably should have won the Conn Smythe. He was lights out that whole entire playoff
Yeah,
run.
yeah. When Rask gets on a run, then
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
yeah, and Halak is not going to be the backup. It's going to be Swayman. They already said
Yeah,
that already. So Halak's
yeah,
last days in Boston, I imagine, for sure.
yeah. He'll probably retire after this year, I would think, or very soon after.
Yeah, Washington this year has just had so many things go against them, and they've kind of shot themselves in the foot a couple times as well,
Yeah.
right? With the whole COVID thing and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But they've kind of had a lot of things go against them this year. They were supposed to have Lundqvist here now. How good would he have been? I'm not sure, but I mean, having that kind of experience and motivation to win a cup for Lundqvist would have been pretty huge right now, I would say.
Is it possible that he could decide to play? I would love to see that. He just goes on a random run out of nowhere. I
What's
mean, it wouldn't happen.
Swayman, you mean?
No, Lundqvist.
Lundqvist, no. He says he's not doing anything till next year.
He said it, but it's like I almost wish you'd have like a change of mind and just save the day and just go on a magic run and then retire with a cup.
He
That would be
does.
so
He
awesome.
does a
He
Superman.
deserves a cup. He's arguably the best goalie in NHL history to never win a cup.
Oh, I think he. Well, I'd have to think about that. There's a couple guys that would be equal to him or close to it, but saying who is the better is pretty tough. Like it's hard to say. Rogie Vachon was one of the best goaltenders ever. To not really, his numbers don't look that great. He was an amazing goaltender, but he played for the LA Kings back in the 70s, and I mean they were terrible every single year. Roberto Luongo, you got to put up there.
You gotta put Luongo up there.
Luongo up there. There's try to think of a
Carey Price is up there too.
Yeah, Carey Price may go down as the best. I mean,
Yeah,
it's tough when you're talking
yeah,
about those kind of goaltenders. I mean, it's really splitting hairs. Which one's better than the other one?
yeah. That's true.
Lundqvist was amazing. He brought them to a lot. He brought the Rangers to places they never should have got to with the roster that they had. I'd almost have to say I'd almost right now if I had to make a decision, I would have to say Lundqvist, but maybe I'm not thinking of somebody.
Right.
One of
Do
Artur
you,
Zerbe. Yeah, that's interesting.
what?
Artur Zerbe.
Oh,
CL,
gotcha.
how you doing?
Yeah. Do you want to go into the Pens and Islanders
Sure.
now?
Go ahead.
Finish up the East.
hmm Again, all the new people go. We have a playoff bracket. Just go down in the comment section. I'm hoping Steele has put it down there. You can go play around in that. We have a playoff bracket there.
Play. I don't even see that link in there. I mean, I'm already doing two brackets anyway, so
I hope he put it down there. I don't know
yeah.
why he wouldn't.
So I'll get the Islanders and Penguins started since we're still in my conference.
Sure.
So yeah, we got Pens and Islanders. Pens got the better of them in the regular season series, 6-2-0. And the last time these two teams met in the playoffs, the Islanders swept them 2 years ago and held Crosby to 1 point, which was just insane. And but I think it's going to go differently this time around. Islanders have been hurting more since they lost Anders Lee for the season. Paul Mary hasn't worked out on the Islanders just yet, and I just get that feeling that I don't know. I just get that feeling that Pittsburgh is going to be too much for them. I think that offensive firepower is going to be a little too much. Of course, the Islanders definitely have the edge with defense and goaltending. Um, Varlamov could definitely steal it. I can definitely see Varlamov stealing a game or two that they have like no business of winning. Like I could see a game where Pittsburgh gets 35 shots on goal and the Islanders get like 15, but Varlamov just goes absolute, just like a madman and just steals the game. I could see that. Varlamov is in the Vezina conversation, of course. But I just think overall Pittsburgh is just the more well-rounded team. I just think that at the end of the day, they're going to be a little bit too much for the Islanders. So I'm going to say Pittsburgh in 6. That would be my guess.
Okay. Oh, by the way, what did I write you down here? No, I didn't.
Me?
The first
I
the
said
first game.
I said Boston in 7.
Oh yeah. 7 Bruins. Okay, and I got okay. So Devondre, you have to tell me how many games there. Devondre, well, you don't have to. Nothing. You don't have to do anything. Uh, so I think this is one of the most difficult ones because I still say on paper the Pens shouldn't even really be making the playoffs this year. Honestly, they went and got CC and Matheson, which were the two, maybe one of the maybe two worst regular playing defensemen last year. CC struggled like crazy in Toronto. Matheson did horrible in Florida, and I was like scratching my head, going, what are they doing? You look at the defense for Pittsburgh, and it's nothing to write home about. Their offensive depth is pretty good, I guess, but I mean it doesn't scream we're going to do well in the playoffs.
Jeff Carter's been big for them.
Jeff Carter coming in is huge.
He has been some sauce for them.
He's been amazing.
And they're getting Malkin back too.
And then you have the Islanders who are really coming in weak. They haven't looked good going into the playoffs. Yeah, we do the chat and the bracket. You can do the chat. I'll write them down. We're just having fun. But do the bracket down there too. Put them in the bracket down in the Steele. You put it in the comment section there. Yeah. So, but the thing is, the Islanders have done that before. They don't look great going in the playoffs, and then all of a sudden it's just rocking it. I wouldn't put it past them. I don't know about this series. I really don't. I in the video that I did, I have a pick. I guess I'm going to tell you now. I got the Penguins in a very iffy 7. I would not definitely put anything on this series. I think the Islanders could just as well come out and all of a sudden be like, who the heck is this Islanders team?
You can't bet in playoff hockey.
They've done it before. Penguins in 5, Bill T. Wow.
Ooh. I got Pens in 6. I mean, it should be a pretty good series.
You know what? You could put just about anything down here, and like somebody could say now Islanders in 5, and I'd be like, I could see that. Somebody could say it could be anything, and it wouldn't really surprise me in this series.
Yeah. No, I agree. And one more note. This is kind of a little bit random, but for those of you that are Penguins fans or Islanders fans, Sunday is going to be a darn good day for you all. The first game starts early. It starts at noon Eastern time. My boy lives in Kansas, and he's a Penguins fan. He gets to wake up close to 11 o'clock and watch some hockey. That's a great way to start off your day. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate waiting. I'm very impatient. So anyways, I think most people got Penguins win that one, but Islanders could do it again. I think it's going to be a good series, and East is just so darn awesome. It's just such a juicy division. Pearlo, do you want to go to your division since you're an Oilers fan?
Sure, we can do that if you want. We can do that.
Going to Canada.
Pearlo. I got to put mine in here. Pens in 7. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Like I said, anybody new in here, we got a playoff bracket. Just go in the comment section, and this go into the comments in the bottom here, and put it in there. Not in the chat, but the comments on the bottom. And you can and Steele will put it in there. Have you put it in the comment section, Steele? Make sure.
He's talking about. He's saying that it's called the Steel Flyers League.
Steel Flyers League. Okay. Anyways, we're not doing the Leafs yet. We're doing the. We're going to do the Oilers and the Winnipeg Jets.
Or yeah, we can do Oilers and Jets. You go first since the Oilers are your team.
Okay. I'll just say it bluntly. I like the Oilers all day here. The Jets are just coming in too weak. They look too disjointed. Their defense looks tired. Hollebuck's not having the best year so this year, and Edmonton's the exact opposite. McDavid is just ridiculous. Like we could say that over and over again, but
yeah, it's been a repeat all year long.
He's getting more and more ridiculous every game, it seems.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, just go down in the comments here, and you can get in the bracket. Yeah, so overall, I mean, at one point halfway through the year, I was saying I think Winnipeg was going to win the East. And then...
You mean North.
Or North, I mean. Win the North. And that was contingent on the fact that I thought they were going to add to their defense in the trade deadline. Like, I was pretty sure about that. But as it was, they now have just had guys playing over their heads too much. And Pionk is a really good player. He's a solid player. He's not a guy that should be playing 25, 30 minutes a night. He's going to wear down over a season doing that, and he has. And even Morrissey is an excellent defenseman, but he hasn't had much help this year. And it's starting to just fall apart there on the D side for Winnipeg. And when you're playing against an Oilers team that can shred the best of defenses, I don't think it bodes well for Winnipeg in this. Not taking the Oilers fandery out of it. Is that a word? I don't know. It is now. Taking the Oilers fandery out of this, I really think the Oilers are going to roll over the Jets. I really do. As long as Smith holds up. If for some reason Koskinen Koskinen has to play, just cancel everything I just said. I think the Oilers will learn from their loss in Chicago last year, and will just really be all guns ablazing for this series. I think they're going to take them out fairly easily myself.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Were you going to ask what I think?
Yeah.
I was shaking my head yes like a bobblehead for a while because you were spinning some truth there. The Jets have been ice cold. They have been colder than where you live at. They are 2-8 of their last 10. Oilers are 7-2 against them in the season. Jets are just way too cold in the playoffs. If there is one series that I feel the most confident in, like if someone told me to bet like $10,000 on a series, I would bet the Oilers all day. Jets have been way too cold. I don't think they're going to be able to handle McDavid and Draisaitl. And let's not forget, too, Oilers have some defenders that can contribute to the offense on the back end. Nurse has been awesome. Barry's been good, even if Barry's really just an offensive defenseman and his defense isn't really anything that special. But they're just not going to have an answer for Connor McDavid. I think Hellebuck has still had a pretty good year, not what he did last year, but I would say the Oilers sweep. I don't really like predicting sweeps, so I'll give Hellebuck a game. I can definitely see him stealing a game. I'll give him that. So I'll say Oilers in 5. I think they'll get her done and move on to that next round.
Yeah, so talk about sweep. Bill T's rocking the sweep. He's going Oilers in 4. I could actually see it in this one.
I could see a sweep, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the Oilers just blew him out every game. All right, bye Winnipeg, deuces.
The one factor, though, is Nikolai Ehlers could be back somewhere along in the playoffs here. And they're a different team with Ehlers in the lineup. He is just a beast ever since Lion A left. And they could certainly do some damage with Ehlers there possibly. But I'm with you though. I mean, all the indicators right now going in does not point to Winnipeg here.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Do you just want to move on to Leafs and Canadians, the more interesting one?
Sure. Let's do it. Anybody that's out there listening, we have a bracket. You go to the comment section, you can do a playoff bracket. We'll see who the winner is at. We'll have bragging rights and all that. And also, you can do it right now. I'll just write it down. And after the playoffs, we'll look at after the series, we'll see who got it right, who did, and all that stuff. So,
Um, for Leafs and Canadians, I think that's going to be an awesome series. Leafs are 7-2-1 against them in the regular season, but the Canadians had a bunch of injuries towards the end there. Carey Price hasn't played in a while. I think Weber was out. Who was it? Was it Anderson that was hurt for them for a little bit too, if I'm not mistaken? Didn't they lose Anderson for a little bit? I think.
yes, for
Yeah.
for
So
quite a
they're
bit.
getting they should be getting some guys back. But see, honestly, this may sound a little far-fetched, but I was torn on this series because of the Canadians getting Price back. We all saw what a rested Carey Price can do last year when they upset the Penguins. I mean, he's coming back. Weber's coming back. Canadians play that heavy game, but Leafs are getting some guys back too. I think they're getting Foligno back. Leafs also are starting to develop a little bit more of that heavy game as well. The way Matthews has played this year is terrific. He's going to finish second in the Hart voting. The dude got 41, 42 goals this year in a shortened season, which is just utterly insane. And the Canadians have lost 5 in a row going in. I mean, they're coming in cold, even though they were injured. And the Leafs are cursed. They are just flat out cursed. They haven't won a cup since the 60s. They haven't won a playoff series since 04. If the Canadians beat them, it does not surprise me. I almost wanted to pick them just because of all those things I just said. And also, too, before I make the official pick, it's interesting that these two teams have not played each other in the playoffs since 1979. Like, that's just crazy. All these years of hockey, they have not faced each other since 1979. I think that's so awesome. I like a fresh matchup. I appreciate that stuff. I'm going to go Leafs in 6, though. They're just too good of a team. I think they're just on another level than the Canadians, but I think Price can make it interesting. But I just – it's hard to pick against the Leafs in that stage of the playoffs. I'll give them a round. They'll break a little bit of the curse there. They don't have to play the Bruins, so Leafs in 6.
Leafs in 6. Okay, do you have your sound on your phone when you're doing this?
Me?
Yeah. No?
I'm on the computer right now.
You don't have your phone on to look at the chat? You actually see it on the chat because they're
I have on YouTube I have it muted. That way I don't hear myself twice.
For some reason it's echoing here.
Oh, really? Is it still echoing?
It just started echoing.
Oh. Huh. Should I just exit off the show then? I was just looking at the show and looking at the comments section.
It's possible. What I do is when I'm out of the guest is I get my phone out and I turn it down and I use my phone to see the comments section. Try that.
I'll just put it on my phone then. Okay.
That might be why it's echoing. It's possible.
Yeah, let me know if that works.
Yeah, I'll see if there's another reason here just to make sure.
Okay.
Because sometimes you have another audio input out, it'll echo. But it shouldn't have because it would have been echoing the whole time. So I'm thinking that.
So I have it pulled up on my phone next to me, our show.
Okay, let's see if it goes. Let's see if it goes away. Okay, Serrano took Toronto in 7.
Everybody's saying Toronto. I thought I'd see a person or two say Canadians. Leafs are cursed. It wouldn't surprise me. I wanted to pick Canadians. And I kept saying for a while, Leafs are done in 1. Leafs are done in 1. And I'm like, I can't quite pull the trigger on that prediction. So
I got some.
Don't be surprised.
I got some short first rounds going. I got Leafs in 5. I think they're going to ruin them.
That's possible.
I just don't see the cohesion on the Montreal lineup to be able to do anything. Now the thing is, though, I will say this, and this is where I might kick myself, is I would say that if Gallagher's back, and Weber is playing, I would say that Montreal has, and because you've got Anderson, you've got those grindy guys, right?
Yep.
In Montreal, I would say they might have a better playoff style roster. So in that regard, I'm a little concerned for my pick in 5. But if I don't even know if Gallagher and stuff are going to be back. Price, is he going to be for sure? I mean, he hasn't looked good for 2 years. That's my problem.
I disagree. I think Price had a relatively good season this year. Nothing amazing, but you have to look at his playoffs last year where he tore it up.
Yeah, that's true. You do make a good point there. Yeah,
Yeah, like he's not
and
doing the best.
somebody who brought up Caulfield too, right?
Yeah,
Caulfield
I see
kid, he
that.
looks
Yeah.
he looks pretty special. That Caulfield kid looks.
Yeah.
Lauren was saying he reminds me. He reminds me of Kaprizov actually
Mm.
in a lot of ways. So I mean, he gets to the spots. I was saying I want to see Caulfield get into the spots here in the NHL before I say he's going to be like a 40-goal scorer or whatever, but he is, and he's sneaky. He's a sneaky like you don't realize it's like the other players kind of he scores and they look around and go, where did he come from? So he's one of those sneaky scorers that definitely could. Who knows? I mean, there could be some great stories out of Montreal, but the way I see it is there's gonna have to be great stories for Montreal to win this. Really, I would say. What does CL say that made him laugh? The world's more entertaining than the Leafs lose. I love an upset.
Dude, if the Leafs lost, I would laugh so hard. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be absolutely devastating for the team. And he's right. It becomes a clown show pretty quick when the Leafs lose, especially if they lose this one in the first round. Oh my gosh. Just go on you go listen to the Leafs live feeds and hear what you're going to hear from there. Everybody's fired.
Fire the whole team, cut everybody, trade
trade
everybody,
trade Anderson. Yeah,
trade
everybody's out.
Matthews for scrubs. Yeah, the whole Toronto media would just collapse. Like TSN would just be crying for months at a time.
You're
I,
right.
I, I'm rooting for the Canadians, and also too, I have the Canadians in my pool. I remember a while ago I was pretty high on them, so they could win me money potentially too. So that's another reason too. Money's involved. Like, all right, come on, Canadians, win me that money, because I think the winner of my pool gets like $300 or something like that. So
Hey, Avatar, how you doing?
I want those 300s. That's what I want. I want to
Yeah,
get that figure.
Avatar. We're doing the picks for. We also Avatar. We have a bracket in the comment section. You
I'll
can
be
go
joining that
sign up
bracket.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, join up a bracket there and tell us what your picks are. But you can give us our picks while we're doing it too. Here, we're doing Leafs and Canadians right now. Avatar. Who do you think's going to win and what and how many games? Um, there's some things that can happen. I mean, Montreal has a very physical defense. They have
Yep.
Edmondson, they have Weber,
Oh,
much more than Toronto.
you know who we haven't mentioned yet? Toffoli's been big for them. That's
Toffoli,
been a
yeah.
big pickup. And I said it too, right when they got him. I'm like, that's a big pickup on the low. I didn't realize he would get that many goals for them, but he has been some sauce this year.
How much? I'm going to look it up here. Maybe you got him right there. How much playoff experience does he really have, though? He played for LA. Did he ever play for the big? He didn't play for the LA when they were good, right? I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure.
think so, but he wasn't. He was on the Canucks last year, and
Yeah, he
yeah,
played a little in the playoffs last year.
yeah, they were
Uh,
disappointing this year. I really wanted to see the Canucks do good. They were fun to watch last season. Yeah, he played for the Kings for a while. Um, so I don't
he's
think he was on.
he's only played. Oh no, sorry, he did have 1 year where they played 26 games. That was 2013-14. Did they win that year? I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah, he has a cup. He has a cup in
So he
2014.
has one cup, and he had 14
He has,
points in 26 games, and then
he has
after
one Stanley Cup.
after
He's
that
better
was.
than Marcel Dione. I'm
So he
kidding.
has
I'm
some
kidding.
playoff experience. Yeah, I mean he's been potting them well this year. That's for sure. No doubt
Yeah, he
about that.
is. Yeah, he's been fire this year, man. He's been putting in that work.
Lauren says playoff experience doesn't matter.
Uh, I mean, to a degree, sometimes some young cats can get in there, and I don't know. I mean, it just yeah, I don't know, but yeah. Uh,
It's not in the chat. It's in the comment section down in the.
oh man,
You have to leave and go down in the comment section.
get all your friends in here. Get a
Yeah,
million people in here.
we got
This
to
should be
get
the most watched
we need a
show right
hundred.
now.
We're gonna get 100 concurrents by
I have a
this
question,
play.
Steve. I know it's nothing to do with hockey. What's that wig supposed to be of?
Oh, I guess I didn't tell you. The last month, whoever won the picks points thing got to tell me to do something for a month.
Oh, okay. So you're
So
just rocking that wig.
so
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I see.
So this is my playoff mullet. I'm turn I'm turning it into a positive. I'm bringing mullets back.
You got to get a Yager jersey and
Yeah,
rock that mullet.
yeah, that's not a bad idea actually.
Yeah, get a Yager jersey. He was on like 10 different teams, so whatever one looks the coolest, get that one.
Yeah, Lauren, you can come up with times when you when you have teams that don't have much cup experience that do well, but more often than not, cup experience is a factor. It's
Yeah, a little bit.
I'd rather have cup experience in my lineup than not.
Although when we won the cup 3 years ago, we didn't have many cup winners on our team because we kept losing in the second round.
Yeah, well, I mean, Washington was trying and trying. Look how long it took them to finally pull one out. They had the talent.
Forever.
They had the talent.
Sometimes,
So they were
yeah,
gaining playoff experience as a team. And the thing about Washington is they've stayed as a team for a long time,
that's
right?
true. I think a factor too is teams that are hungry. I know that's like so cliche and sometimes it makes you want to like bang your head against the wall. But teams that have just been like banging on the door for a while and like just haven't won in a long time. I think that just gives them that like extra drive. Like look at the Lightning. They haven't before last season, they haven't won a cup since like what 04 I think. Look at the Blues the year before that, never won a cup. Capitals year before that, never won a cup. Penguins had the back to backs, but before they had the back to backs, it was what like 08, 09. Then since they won the cup before that. So I think teams that get in these bits of droughts, I think it just gives them that extra motivation, that extra gear. Recently, in recent trends.
Yeah. And like it's, most teams do try to add some cups to their roster to be able to help them down through
Mm-hmm.
to. It's really good to have somebody who can say, you know what, in this situation, this is the way we got to look at it.
Yeah.
Especially if a guy's been in the playoffs for a long time and won a cup, because he can say, look, this is what we did when I was in San Jose, say Thornton, for instance, in Toronto, where they
Mm-hmm.
lost. Remember they were up 3-0 against, was it LA? And
Oh,
lost it 7-3, lost it in seven,
yeah.
like
That's
stuff like
crazy.
that. He has that kind of experience is almost just as valuable as the cup experience as well, because you
Yeah.
can say
Yeah.
that this is what happened and this is why. So, you know, most teams use an outside mascot to help motivate them to the next level. Oh, a mascot, like a puppet.
Well, hey, the Flyers stunk this year, and they have the best mascot in all of sports.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so. It's funny people
Yeah,
think
Gritty's awesome. I love Gritty.
people think otherwise, but I love Gritty too. I think it's
Yeah, they
freaking
should make Gritty just the logo at this point.
yeah. That would be a
Yeah,
really cool idea.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So hey, let's
go to the next
I
one.
think we should move on to the Central. There, we got two more juicy matchups to get going here.
Sure.
Uh, you want to start off the Central, whichever one you want to start off with.
No, go with ever. Don't matter.
Okay.
Just tell me.
Oh man, I'll save the most anticipated one for last. Hurricanes versus the Predators.
Yeah,
At first, I was thinking, all right, Hurricanes are going to give them the business
yeah,
real easily, but Soros is a big, big X factor in that series. Hurricanes did get the better of them in the regular season, 6-2, 6 wins, 2 L's. Canes have won Predators have won their past couple games. They've been hot lately. Soros has been hot. Soros could possibly steal this series. Canadians have kind of let their foot off, or not, why am I saying Canadians? Hurricanes have let their foot off the gas a little bit lately. If I was a Hurricanes fan, like my soon to be brother in law, I would be a little nervous about that. And like I said, a little bit nervous about Soros. Predators' offense doesn't really scare you, but their defense is pretty good, and the goaltending is the biggest strength for sure. But at the end of the day, I like the Hurricanes a lot this year. I have them in my pool before the season, and now they got depth all over the place. They got a good top six, good guys below that. They have arguably the best defensive pair in all of hockey with Dougie Hamilton and Jacob Slavin. Ron Brennarmer is just awesome. I probably said his last name wrong, but whatever. I suck at pronouncing names, but he is a great coach.
Yep.
Aho's awesome. Teravainen's awesome. Svechnikov is awesome. Fogel's good, Stahl's good. Like they have a lot of the right pieces in play to win a cup. They play a pretty fast, good forechecking team. I think they're going to be too relentless at the end of the day. I'm going to say Hurricanes in 6. I'll definitely give Soros probably at least a game to steal, but I just think the Hurricanes are just too well rounded between offense, defense, and their goaltending is slept on, honestly. Let's not disrespect the goaltending too much. I'm not saying they have Marc-Andre Fleury or Vasi or anything to that level. I think Mrazek is pretty decent, but they have enough around him. But I'm assuming they're going to start with their young guy, Nedeljkovic. Did I pronounce that right?
Yep. You did.
Hurricanes in 6. That's my pick.
Okay. E-Money Hurricanes in 6. Oh, I already got you down there. The Predators scare me, but I just can't see them pulling this one out. I could see them doing something stupid and pushing it to 7, though. Because
I can see that.
they've been just doing it all year. Like,
Mhm.
how do you not at least be concerned if you're a Canes fan for this Nashville team that has been continuously breaking down barriers all year long, right? Like they've been going like one of the big things that a lot of teams say that you need to win a cup is to have controversy. Controversy isn't the right word I'm looking for, but obstacles to get over through the season. They build your team, and they sure have had that. I mean, they were almost out of it, really. And then, Duchesne gets hurt. Forsberg was hurt. Josie was hurt. All of these guys just played like crazy to get to where they are. I think they get. I think Anybody who's out there, tell me who you think's going to win this series, Nashville and Canes, and by how many. I'll write it down here and we'll gloat about it later. But I think they got a little unfortunate with their. I think they would have had a better chance against Tampa. I just think the Canes are, like you said, they're just too strong here. The Canes are so disciplined. That's the word for the Canes. They play some of the most disciplined hockey. The Islanders when they're rocking is the same as like the Canes. Incredibly disciplined hockey team. They just don't seem to let anything faze them. They were playing incredible tired hockey through the year, which is what I look for. When you played like a lot of games and back-to-backs and you're still in the game, if not winning it, that to me shows sign of a very disciplined team and a playoff successful team, very likely successful team. So I gotta go with the Canes here. I'm gonna say the Canes in 7 though.
I could see that.
And if I'm wrong, I'm like, okay, but
Whatever.
just nothing surprised me about Nashville. I'm just giving. I feel like I'm just giving them some cred here because of everything that they've done this year. It's been a really good. Devondra's got Canes in 5. Lauren, he's got the sweep for the Canes. Lauren is a big Canes fan though, so you got to have that. Avatar is not a big Canes fan, but he's taking them in 4 too. And Saros, that you talked about goaltending. Please be playing Nedeljkovic. I have a feeling though they're going to go with Mrazek. But I think you got to go with Nedeljkovic. He's got the numbers. He's been hot. Give him a shot. If it doesn't work out, then go with a different goaltender. I don't know what you'd be worried about there. Uh, Playoff experience, I know, goes to Mrazek, but Nedeljkovic was their best goaltender, as far as I'm concerned, by far all year. And I would have to. Serrano's got Kings in 7. Yeah, everybody's going to Canes. I didn't think anybody would be surprised us there, but I like the goaltending for. The thing is about that Saros has rocked it quite a few times. If he gets hot like he was, frick, you just never know, dude. Like with everything Nashville has overcome this year and did, you just I wouldn't. I certainly don't think it's a for sure here. I think it's more for sure for me that Boston beats Washington than the Canes beat Nashville, if you believe it or not, if you can believe that. All right. Carolina this year is like Duke Nukem. Chew bubble gum and get out of it. Yeah, I mean, the Canes are looking pretty sick. No doubt about it. This is going to be if that goaltending holds up. Bill T has the Canes in 5. All right, next one, I guess. Wait a sec. What time have we got here? We got 8 minutes. How many more? How many more games do we got?
We have one more series to talk about, and it's the one that I'm super excited for.
Okay, we'll go into that and then we'll just have random chat afterwards. So we can do that. We got 8 minutes, so let's
All
go.
right. The Battle of Florida. If there is a series that I am the most excited for, not counting my team that's involved, it is this one. Watch this series. This one will be fun. You are more than likely to get struck down by lightning than to watch this series. No pun intended, but whatever. Okay. Panthers and Lightning. Panthers were 5-2-1 against the Lightning in the regular season. Panthers are coming in hot. They've won 6 games in a row. My big concern is them not having Ekblad, but Uyghur has been fantastic for them. He stepped up. Barkov needs to be more respected. Same thing with Huberdeau. Two of the most underrated players on the same team and in the top 6 of that lineup. Quenneville's done a great job. He's my pick for Jack Adams. Lightning are great too. I think it's going to be an awesome, spectacular series. Don't you dare miss it. Watch this game or watch this series. What was I going to say? Lightning have lost 3 in a row, but they get some players back. They get Kucherov back. He hasn't played at all this year. They get Stamkos back, even though Stamkos could get injured again because he's made of glass and it's Stamkos. You can't really rely on him because of his health being some garbage. My concern with them is I don't think Hedman's 100%. He's already said, look, I'm going to need surgery after this postseason. So I really wonder how much he can put into, also especially considering that he just got a cup. He just got a Conn Smythe. How motivated is he going to be on top of being injured as heck? Vasi's been incredible this year. He's my favorite for the Vezina. He's definitely in there, conversation-wise at least, at the very worst. It's so close of a series. To me, in my opinion, I think this is the hardest one to call. I had to go back and forth. Like one day I was like Panthers, then I was like Lightning, then I was like Panthers, then I was like Lightning. I'm like, I don't know. It can go either way. I am going to say Panthers in 7. I think they're going to be the hungrier team. They haven't won a playoff series since 1996, I think, or something like that, late 90s. They'll be the hungrier team. Lightning just won the cup. And also, too, these two teams have never played each other in the playoffs, so this is a fresh matchup. I like that a lot. So I'm pumped for this one. Panthers in 7. I'm going with that. That's my final answer.
Okay, let me get you there. 7 Panthers. Okay, Avatar's got the Cats in 5. And you know what? I'm not far away from that. I don't like the way the Lightning have played all year. Their record doesn't really show the way they played. They relied way too much on their skill. They also relied way too much on Vasilevsky, so much so that I would not be. I know it's not going to happen, But I'd almost give Vasilevsky the Hart this year.
Hmm.
They have relied on him so much. Like, you think about what they did with their backup compared to everybody say, well, McElhinney's terrible. No, he's not. Tampa has played terrible, and they relied on Vasilevsky way too much. They were outshot a lot. They were out muscled a lot. They've relied on him way too much. And a Panthers team that plays at the level and intensity that they play at, is Tampa going to be able to turn it on just like that? Is Kucherov going to come back and all of a sudden be able to play like Kucherov can? Stamkos or what have you? I just didn't see the pushback this year in Tampa. I don't know what was going on there, but I like the Panthers. And I'm going to say in 6. And I'm giving Tampa credit for Vasilevsky, bailing them out. I'm not a huge fan of Tampa this year. They may just turn it around. Steele has got 7, Panthers 2. They may turn it around, and we know what they can do. They won the cup last year. It may be because they were tired because of that. They didn't have much time, which also says a lot for what Dallas did this year too. It could be that they're just really tired this year because of that. That could be it. But Devondra is 7, Panthers and 7. A lot of people taking the Panthers this year. It's the sexy pick. Mostly because I think that it's hard not to root for the Panthers. They've got that type of team. Underdog, hardworking, blue collar guys. You think about how he struggled in Calgary, but how come his name has left me? They traded for why is his name totally leaving me here? It'll come to me I'll look it up. They trade Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett, when he was in Calgary, didn't do much all year. They misused him. He eventually asked for a trade because of that. But in the playoffs, he rocked, man. He's a playoff performer. And you know all about Hornquist, right?
No, about what?
You know all about Hornquist, right?
Oh yeah, Hornquist is I forgot about that. That could be an X factor for them. Yeah, I know about him. He played for Pittsburgh, believe me.
Exactly. So I'm saying Bennett he's had some. Do you know that he's got 6 goals and 9 assists in 10 games for the Florida?
Yeah, he's been on fire for Florida.
Crazy, and I do not understand why the Calgary Flames could not have got this out of him at the time. And I don't blame them for asking for a trade because they missed. I was always saying, they're totally misusing this dude. And then in the playoffs, he had 2020, he had 5 points in 5 games. They only played 5. 2018-19, 2019-20, he had 8 points in 10 games in the playoffs with 5 goals. Yeah, when it goes into the regular season, they play him on the 4th line like he doesn't have a. I don't know. The Calgary Flames in general, I never really understood why they do a lot of the things they do. But I think they're going to crush. I think they're going to crush Tampa Bay. Honestly, I really do. Yeah, I mean, Florida would be awesome to have a winner there for the Florida Panthers, for that organization and everything, to beat Tampa. That would be amazing. So we got Carolina versus Tampa in the next round, right? E?
Sorry, what?
We got Carolina and the Panthers in the next round, right?
Yeah, because you're picking Panthers. What'd you say? Panthers in
Panthers in
5?
6.
Panthers in 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the comments.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, a lot of people are saying Panthers there.
Hey, Elliot,
Yeah,
how you doing, buddy?
we'll have them in the next round. Right now, aren't our sponsors supposed to come in? It's
Yes.
4 o'clock.
Yep, I'm going to do that right now. Yep,
Okay.
so we're going to take, and then we'll come back and we'll do the Vegas, the West, and all of that kind of stuff like that. That'll be interesting. And
Yeah, we can build it
we'll
up.
also look at, like, we'll do a bracket further down and to talk about the series that will happen if we pick those, if those teams actually come through. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Highly recommend you come back for it. It'll be a couple minutes. Go get
Oh
your
yeah.
doggies, gather around the computer. They're going to want to see this. Okay, buddy.
Absolutely.
All right.
Um,
See you in 3 minutes.
We have two very special guests. We are delighted to be joined by Tracy Musser and Nicole Howard from the Canine Country Club Resorts. Tracy and Nicole are both managers for CCC Resorts and work at the Windsor or at the club, one of two locations both in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary of being in business. Let me start off by saying this. Steel Flyer stands behind this company 100%. They've taken care of Steel Flyer's furry friend for the last 2 years now, and they are a one-stop shop for everything your furry friend needs. In fact, let's find out what our friends at CCC Resorts offer. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. What are some of the great boarding services that you guys offer, and what do we have to do in order to get our furry friends taken care of when we are unable to travel with them?
Well, we like to bring everybody in for a tour first. That way they can see the behind the scenes, they can see where they stay, they can see where they play, and then we explain all of the fun things that we can add on to their reservation, whether it be one of our packages, either a nature walk, a ball time, or even a cuddle time.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Boy, it sure sounds like a resort to me. So how are you today, Tracy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tracy, tell me, is it true that you guys have both an indoor and an outdoor pool at the Windsor location?
It is true. We've got one of each, so we're able to offer year-round swimming. The indoor pool is a great option for dogs who are swimming for therapy or rehab. It's got that sloped entry so they can wade into the water. Our outdoor pool is a little bit larger and it's 4 foot deep the whole way across. Both of them are saltwater pools, so it's really easy on the dog's skin and coat.
Wow, that's very awesome. So then during the summer months, you have a much deeper pool outside and then a sloped entry shallow pool indoors for the dogs. Tracy, tell the folks how we can get some pool time.
Well, the first thing everyone does is come for an intro swim. We use that time to make sure the dog is comfortable in the water. We make sure they know how to get out of the pool safely, and we go over all the pool rules and etiquette with the clients as well. After that, they're able to schedule private appointments where they have the pool to themselves, or they can invite friends and have a whole group swim going on.
So after a dip in the pool, then it would have to be off to the groomers, right? I mean, our furry friends cannot go out looking their best. Nicole, what are some of the great services your top-notch groomers provide?
Our groomers, they specialize in full service grooms. We can do the basics, whether it be just a bath and a brush out or a blowout. Or for the extra pampered pooches, we can do nail dremels, we can do deodorizing soaks, and also facials.
Wow, man, that sounds like a resort if you ask me. Tracy, I know one of the main programs here at CCC Resorts is the WAGS program. The Steel Flyers dog is enrolled in this program. So why don't you tell the folks what is involved in this and how they can get enrolled?
Yeah, the WAGS program is our primary daycare option at the Windsor. It's designed to be a structured program for people who are looking for a set routine for their dog. They all come on the same days each week, which allows them to have set friends, and we know exactly what's going on with each group. So we do a little bit more activities and we build more into their daily routine there. But we've got other daycare options as well for people looking for a little less commitment. We do an hourly care where you can drop them off and just pay by the hour. We also do a day stay option, which is great for the dogs that prefer human friends instead of making friends with other dogs. And then we have a traditional daycare option as well if you're looking for the occasional outing for your dog.
Wow, there you have it. A full service groomer, a daycare program, and an indoor and outdoor pool. What more could you ask for? Sure seems like CCC Resorts has everything covered. Remember, DOG, depend on God.
Yep, there we are. We're back. Okay, we're going to do the West now, and I know you're all wondering, are you guys going to do the West? Yeah, we're going to do the West.
Wow.
Okay, I got to shut everything off. Okay, turn maybe some lights on here. So, the West. We'll get to the West.
West.
PA will also allow for 75% outdoor and 50% indoor. Nice.
Cool.
PA will be this weekend for masks.
Yeah, Maryland's loosening up too. Well, anyways, whatever. This isn't a COVID thing. So.
Yeah, well,
Right.
it does have something to do with like fans in the stands, which is huge for home teams, right? Having
Yeah.
fans in the stands is pretty big for home teams.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's not a.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I guess I just have heard about COVID so much. I don't know, whatever. So for the West, we got Avs and Blues. Avs were 5-3 against them in the regular season. Honestly, I'm not even gonna ever think the West. I got the Avs beating the Blues in 5. I don't think the Blues are really all that great in my opinion. Avs just have too much firepower. They're gonna get some guys coming back in there. Goaltending's better. Grubauer has been stellar. I'm going Avs in 5. Avs all day, all night, all week, all month. They're going to beat the Blues in 5. And then I'll just move on real quick. I mean, I'm going to let you talk, obviously, but I just wanted to get it out of the way. Knights in 6 against the Wild.
Okay. I think it could be a little more difficult for Colorado. I just like the way the Blues were played going into the playoffs. Yeah, like Avatar. See, Avatar and I are usually not too far. I don't know about 7, but I could see it. Because just the way they played going into the playoffs, they, they certainly changed things around a lot. They totally changed their whole energy, everything. They beat the crap out of Minnesota over and over and over again, and I think they're going in fairly confident right now. That being said, you're right. It's kind of hard to go against the Avalanche with that lineup. However, the Avalanche did go through. I don't think the Avalanche has really hit their stride either in a lot of ways. So it actually wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if the Blues somehow managed to take this series, but I can't go with them either because you got McKinnon. It's McKinnon, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
And Barr's been good, and Grubauer's been good. That team is stacked. Rantanen, Landeskog, like it's just boom, 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 boom. Like they're just gonna be too much. But also too, let's not forget they won the President's Trophy last night. And that thing is cursed. But I'll give them at least a round. Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, it's McKinnon. They do have a fairly young lineup. The St. Louis Blues are definitely more playoff. Uh, have more playoff experience. Um, I don't like the St. Louis Blues defense though, and I do like Colorado's. It depends on is Johnson. John doesn't. I don't know if Johnson's career is over. He hasn't played for a long time. So, but I mean, when you got Colorado, that Makar kid is freaking sick. And let's go look at their roster really quick. I'm just trying to find a. So I think St. Louis just kind of eats at me. First of all, they already won a cup, so you have that where they know what you need to do to win a cup. The best thing about having cup experience is not getting too down on the downs, and it's belief, knowing how to believe that you're good enough to beat just about any team. I just would be uh, much more. Oh gosh, they were playing Austin Pagansky and Mitch Ranke. They were playing a whole bunch of guys that they never play, but with Parayko, with Parayko, they're a much better team. He's going to be in the lineup. But without Peter Angelo, I don't. I just think that they're going to fall short. I think it's going to be Colorado in 6. Yeah.
I respect that.
There's something about this series that gives me the willies though. This is like one of those ones where you kind of a surprising upset here. It feels like it to me, but I can't go with it. I can't pull the trigger on it. Because there's always those, right? One of these ones we're going to be like, pow. It's going to blow your mind like, oh my gosh, they actually won. Mercer's putting in picks for all the other ones now. Byram is Byram going to be back? Oh yeah, Byram is freaking amazing.
Yeah, he's good.
He's been way better than I thought he would be this young. So yeah, Mercer's got the
I
bolts.
forgot about him.
Mercer's got the bolts. One of the few people that took the bolts over the Panthers. Mercer was the one that is the reason why I'm wearing this wig.
Curse you, Mercer.
He won. So he crushes pretty good on these picks. He knows hockey really well. Canes in 5. Okay, that makes me feel a little more comfortable about that.
Oh wait, they're moving on to the next round already. I don't know if we're ready for the next round just yet. I'm sure, because I don't think you made your Knights and Wild pick, have you? Because I said Knights and 6.
No, they're just putting ones for the old one that we already did.
Okay.
They're putting
Yeah,
picks in for the old one.
Knights are 3-4-1 against the Wild this year, but that Knights team is just too good. I mean, the duo is amazing. They won the Jennings Trophy. Defense is amazing. Theodore is a mouse. And didn't they just get Petrangelo back not that long ago too? That could be a major key for them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mark Stone has been amazing too. I mean, they're just a better team overall, deeper, everything with that team is better.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of people that absolutely love the Wild this year. The Wild had their number in the regular season. The Wild did play well against Vegas in the regular season.
Yeah, that's true.
No doubt about it. Mercer, Bolts, and so
Wild and 7. Avatar says Wild and 7.
See, Avatar was the one. Avatar took the Wild a lot this year. He really likes the Wild. I can't see it though. I just can't see it. I loved it.
I can see it, but I think they're time for fun.
I think they'd have a better chance against Colorado. I just really love this Vegas team, man. Lauren, I got your Canes. I thought you said Canes in 4. I thought you had sweep.
Didn't Colorado go like 6-2 against them this year or something?
Mercer. Yeah. What, against the Wild?
Yeah.
Maybe, but what I mean by, I think Vegas has got a better playoff team than they do regular season too.
It'll still be a good series. I won't be able to watch the West as much since it's getting to my bedtime and everything.
The thing about this series is, if there's one weakness for Vegas, it's up the middle. They're a little thin up the middle, and Minnesota is as well, but they've got guys that like Bonino and Eck. They got big guys to grind and pound with up the middle with Vegas. That is where I think that their biggest advantage is for them. Mm-hmm. However, if Fleury's being the Fleury that we know Fleury can be, I mean, he can win a game all by himself. Kaprizov is awesome, but this is the first time he's played in the playoffs. And Vegas they're big. They're big and they're fast.
Defense and goaltending can take you places.
Alex Tuck. I mean, watch for this guy in the playoffs. Alex Tuck.
He's fast as heck.
And he's big. He's freaking huge.
Yeah.
Bill T's got Knights in 5.
Knights in 5, Knights in 6, Knights in 5. Yeah, I get what you mean though, Pearlo. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Vegas up the middle isn't really anything all that amazing.
No.
But I love their defense and goaltending, though. That's a big strength of theirs. I mean, they got some pretty good wingers.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
Stone, man.
yeah, yeah. So I mean that would be their
Stone,
biggest weakness. Yeah,
Pacioretty. I mean, they've got they've got a great lineup, a great playoff style lineup too. That's the
yep,
thing I like about
yep,
them. I'm not so
yep.
sure about Minnesota. Minnesota also, this might be an anger thing too, because I had Minnesota to beat Vancouver last year in the first round, and
Not
uh,
me. I had Vancouver.
yeah, and they let me down. And I just don't think that they're set up to be a true playoff team yet. And the Golden Knights, of course, have already almost won, made it to the finals, made it to the playoffs the next
Yeah,
year.
they've been playoff contenders their whole entire existence, which is incredible.
Yeah,
In just a short time. Um, So did you want to get into who you think will get into the final four? Not necessarily like break down round by round, but just like who you think is going to come out of each division?
Knights and six for Lauren. Yeah, sure. I mean, we can do. Yeah, yeah. We start in the East, I guess.
So yeah, Mercer, good point. Defense does win championships. That's very true. So in terms of who comes out of the East, I think Bruins will come out of there. They'll beat the Pens in round two. I'm not going to go into number of games and this and that and this and that, but I think Bruins come out of the East. I like what they got. They've been contenders for a while. Their window is getting smaller and smaller, and I think they're going to try to take advantage of just that one potential last opportunity for a cup with this core. Love their forwards. Love the goaltending. Defense is kind of but I think they'll come out of the East. Um, and then that's where they'll play the Hurricanes in the first matchup of the Final Four. I know they're calling it the Stanley Cup semifinals, but Final Four sounds cooler. All right, just call it the Final Four, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Whatever, not a big deal.
yeah.
So I would have Bruins playing the Canes for the first half of the Final Four matchup. Canes will beat the Panthers in round two. Love the Canes this year. Is there even a weakness with that team? If so, it's like little tiny stuff that you can just split hairs over. I think they're just awesome. So Canes face the Bruins. At least that's what my bracket's telling me that I already did. I've done two of those already. And then so Canes, that would be the Central. Yeah, Canes are Central. So Canes Central, Bruins East. Canada North Division. Canadian Division sounds cooler. I got the Oilers being the Leafs in round two. I still just don't trust the Leafs really all that much. Matthews and McDavid round two is going to be incredibly saucy. That is one of the potential round two matchups I am looking forward to the most. Every game's going to be like 5-4 pretty much, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just those two just taking a dump on each other's defenses. But Oilers at the end of the day, I think they'll get that done. They'll represent the North in the Final Four. Then they would have to face. I was so torn on this one. I think this is really hard to pick, and I kind of just was thinking, well, it all comes down to which one of them wins the cursed trophy. So the Avs in Vegas round two is going to be an amazing matchup. If it does happen, if the hockey gods allow it, Avs Vegas round two, I would probably watch every single game and be sleep deprived, and I will say, well worth it. That is going to be a banger of a series if it does happen. Ultimately, the Avs got the curse, so I'm going to give that to Vegas in round two. I do believe in curses with that kind of stuff until they get broken. So I think Vegas gets round two. I'm already going to say that goes to 7 if that does happen, barring any injuries, blah, blah, blah. So then Vegas plays the Oilers in the other matchup of the Final Four. Now remember, with the Final Four, everything reseeds. It just it comes down to points. So Vegas would be Vegas would be the 1 seed at that if this all happens. Oilers 4, Canes 2, Bruins 3. So that's my Final Four. I'm not going to say my cup just yet.
Uh, yeah, I got the same thing. I got Canes and Bruins, and I got Vegas versus Colorado, which will be sick. But I don't mind telling people I got Vegas Canes and Vegas wins a cup.
Oh, you're already saying okay. So you have Canes in there. You have Vegas in the last four.
Yeah.
Who do you have representing the East and Canada?
The toughest one for me is the Toronto Edmonton one.
Hmm.
The because it's going to really depend on what Toronto's goaltending looks like, uh, and that's the hard one for me. It's Smith is 39 years old. I mean, when is
Oh,
this
he's
guy going to
39.
settle down? Yeah, guy's a freaking warrior, man. Smith
Yeah.
is a freaking warrior. I I is he going to be able to hold up that? I nothing. I mean, you cannot say no now. You can't say no about Smith that he can't do whatever he wants, whatever he's going to do. He's believed in himself for a long time. I remember when he was talking, like there was a lot of people saying you're getting old and stuff like that. And yeah, I remember the interviews, but I've loved him for a long time. I loved him in Arizona. I wish he didn't play in Arizona. He would have got a lot more notoriety for how good of a goaltender he was.
Mhm.
But when he talked about it in Edmonton, he was like one of those guys that wouldn't even let them finish their sentence. You know, like you're getting older, and he goes, "I don't care. I'm in a crush."
Hmm.
I love that. Don't you love that when a guy just
Yeah.
says, "You know what? I don't care what you guys say. I'm crushing," and that's it. And then
Seriously.
he goes out and does it. I am so rooting for him. I'm going to say the Oilers come out of there.
Okay. So you
But
and I are thinking like very similarly.
I'm going to say the Oilers come out of there because of Smith. I just love the energy that that guy brings to a team, and I think it'll be a great series. If the Leafs win it, it wouldn't be like, oh, like it would
Yeah,
be.
it wouldn't be a shock.
No. Matthews is insane. I just love watching that guy shot. I could watch that guy shoot all day.
Yeah, he has a
Crazy.
beautiful shot, a nice wrister. Yeah. Ooh, I am pumped for that potential round two.
Yeah, tell me in the comments what you guys got if you want to give your final
Oh,
stuff.
what about your East? What about your East, Pearl? Who do you have representing
Boston,
the East?
Boston. We're on the same boat.
So we have the same exact Final Four.
Yeah,
So you said for the Cup, you're saying that Vegas beats the Hurricanes.
yeah, and I'm a little unsure about the Boston and Canes because of Rask. That's the big thing with me about that one. I'm a
Yeah,
little unsure about that
yeah.
because of
I had to
Rask.
think. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, I'm just saying. I think in the long run, I think that's a coin flip, and I just want the
Mhm.
Canes. I think I just want the Canes to win it.
Yeah, I mean, I would be rooting for them too. I'm not. I don't really root for Boston teams because they've already had enough glory over the past like 20 years. So, I mean, hey, if Hurricanes end up winning a cup, good for them. They haven't won a cup since what, '06 or something like that. It's been a long time. Their coach was a player on that team the last time they did that. Um, so, anyways, with that being said, so you have Vegas winning the cup this year against the Hurricanes. I actually have the same exact cup final as you. I think Vegas would beat Edmonton in my bracket at least because Vegas is just more well-rounded overall. And I don't really necessarily trust Mike Smith all that much. I mean, I know he's had a good year and everything, but I just think Vegas is just better on the back end, better goaltending. I think at the end of the day, they would just have an answer for McDavid, Draisaitl, blah blah blah. Canes and Boston to me would be closer. But so, anyways, Canes and Vegas for the Cup final. I'm gonna say the Canes win it. I just
Oh,
have that feeling. I have that feeling that I think they would be a little too fast for them. I like their depth down the middle more. Aho is just an absolute monster,
sure
legit
is.
one
Yeah,
center.
he is. Yeah.
I like Trocheck. I like Jordan Stahl as the third center right there. Let's not forget to their wingers there, Niederreiter, Teravainen, Nikas, Fogel. Jesper Foss is pretty good. Good penalty killer, plays hard, good third liner. Sveshnikov. So they got some guys there, and then of course I already mentioned their defense with Slavin and Hamilton and Pesci. Um, and I mean, I wonder who the starting goalie is going to be in the playoffs. I'm guessing they're going to go Nedeljkovic. In my opinion, at least they should go that way. I think he would give them the best chance to win based on performance and statistics and all that stuff this year. So I'm gonna go Canes winning the cup against Vegas. I'm not gonna say like number of games and blah 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 because that's just too far ahead to do that. My Conn Smythe winner is gonna be Aho.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. That's about the only place we really differ. Um, I just think that Vegas has built up a little more playoff experience. They have a little more players in there that have a realization of, this moment, how important this moment is. Where in Carolina they've got some younger guys that maybe quite often don't grasp that may never be back here again. Where in Vegas they have a lot of those guys that know full well you never, and just in their age alone, they may never be back again. And Fleury, man,
Yeah,
I think
this could be his last chance.
the Conn Smythe goes to Stone.
Stone.
Yeah.
See that? I can see that. Like, if Vegas won the cup, I think it would either go to Stone or Fleury.
Hmm.
I really just see one of those two.
Yeah.
Uh, or maybe possibly Leonard if, like, Fleury got injured early and then Leonard just did some ish.
I don't think Vegas
Um,
wins it if Lehner is a guy.
I think they could, though. Leonard's a good goalie.
It's okay. He's okay.
I think
He's
he's more.
no, he's
He's
very
more
good,
of
but he's not Flurry. Flurry is the main
yeah.
reason why I'm taking Vegas. A lesser goaltender, and I don't think Vegas does it. I don't think
But
they do.
and that's the good thing with Vegas. They have the best goaltending duo in hockey. No questions asked. Like that is a fact. They have the best goaltending duo in the league. That's
Oh,
what's
yeah, for sure.
yeah
Bar none.
yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And like let's just say Boston gets in there. Like Conn Smythe obviously would go down to like either Marchand or Pasternak or anybody in the top line or Rask. Um, so I mean, each team has their own like possible candidates there, but yeah, Canes and Vegas. That's cool that we both have the same Stanley Cup but different winners. So your bracket is probably almost the same as mine with like little tiny differences here and there. So that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said they had Tampa to make it. I mean, Tampa could. They already did. I just think it's first of all, I think it's too much to ask with the short gap
Yep.
for a team to win a cup. Like, it would be absolutely astronomical if Tampa Bay
It's
won the
hard to
cup.
repeat.
It's hard to repeat at the best of times, and this is not the best of times.
I just think they're too banged up too. Like Hedman's clearly not 100%. Stamkos is going to get injured again, and I mean, how's Kucherov going to do since he hasn't played in so long? Because when did they win that cup? Was that end of September, beginning of October? I think it was end of September. So I mean, it's been a little bit. I mean, Vasi could take him there. I mean, obviously that's an early Conn Smythe candidate. There's a bunch of Conn Smythe candidates. We can talk about that for the next 32 minutes. Um, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
I'll say
yeah.
though. I mean,
Let's
hey, if
do
Tampa
that.
repeats,
Let's do that.
huh?
Let's do that. Let's talk Conn Smythe. Who would win the who do we think we could win the Conn Smythe? I think uh, if Tampa Bay wins, it'll be Vasilevsky for sure.
Yeah,
Vasilevsky will be crushing.
it'll be Vasi. Um, if Hedman were completely healthy, I would say him, but I think more than likely it would be Vasi. Actually, I don't know. It could also be Braden Point. Let's not forget how great he did in the last playoffs.
Hmm.
We got to put more respect to his name. I've been talking all that good stuff about him since we beat them 3 playoffs ago, or whatever it was. That boy gets slept on sometimes. But yeah, Vasi would be my number one favorite, then Braden Point. Um, Now, if the Panthers win, I mean, I would think it'd be Barkov or Huberdeau that would get that.
If the Panthers win, yeah, I would probably. Yeah, probably. Um, we don't even know for sure if they're going to start Drigger or Bobrovsky.
I would go
Um,
Drager.
I would too, probably, but I mean, they really probably want to keep on trying to build Bobrovsky's confidence. So because
Yeah, they
since they're
paid him a lot
paying him
too.
$10 million a year,
They
so
paid him a lot.
yeah,
Spencer Knight is pretty interesting too. Wasn't he? He was USA. Wasn't he like a high-level USA goalie?
he was picked. I want to say 14th overall in the
Yeah, that was
draft in his draft year. Yeah,
2019 draft. I think.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah,
Something like that.
20.
Um,
He's pretty
and then,
spectacular.
yeah, and then if the Predators win, that's Soros all day long.
Well, yeah, if they were to win the cup, I mean, I don't, it'd probably be Saros, yeah, or Josie, whatever. But I mean, I just cannot see that happen, and that would be epic.
Yeah.
If they won the cup,
Yeah.
it'd probably be some surprise guy you weren't thinking.
Oh my gosh.
Like some guy just pots, like, you know what happened with,
Time to play hockey at my best.
what? What was that? Oh, yeah, exactly. That would be, but who would, like, there would be like some guy you weren't thinking of that would go on a run and score like 14 goals.
Yeah,
And,
just randomly.
yeah, just like you never even heard of him, probably.
And
So,
then, yeah, and then we talked about the Bruins. If my Capitals happen to do it, which that would obviously be amazing. I'd be super happy and real jittery all over again. I mean, obviously Ovechkin, duh. Ovechkin, Backstrom would have a solid chance of doing it. He's been awesome this year. Probably the Capitals MVP of the season. And an outside shot, Oshie.
yeah, if,
I
if he goes,
going on a run.
if he goes on a scoring run, you never know yet.
Yeah, I could see Oshie just being a dark horse for that award because one, he's been good this year. Two, he's one of the hardest working players on the entire team. He does a lot of things right. And three, his dad just died. So I can see him just using that as motivation. Like his dad loved the game of hockey, coached him, well respected by a bunch of players. So I can see Oshie just like adding that and just getting real hungry and just going off like that. That would be an outside shot, though. I mean, obviously, Ovechkin would have to be the favorite for that team. Like, we already know how good he is and all that stuff. And then Penguins, I would think it'd be Crosby. More than likely Crosby, maybe Malkin.
Yeah, probably that, and that's the reason why I just can't see the Penguins getting out of the East. There's not enough guys in there that you could say could win that.
Yeah, yeah.
Gunsel goes on a run,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. Gensel's a possibility. Yeah, Gensel's a very good player. Yeah, Gensel's a possibility. I wouldn't rule him out. Um, and then Islanders, Varlamov.
He would have to be amazing, or Barzal.
Oh yeah, Barzal or Varlamov. I mean, Varlamov would be my first pick, and then probably Barzal.
Again, that
Um,
would be another team that I would think that somebody would go on a run, score a lot of goals, like Beauvillier or something like that.
yeah, just someone randomly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could even see the fourth line for that team doing some stuff for them. They have an incredible fourth line.
He said Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Lehner are going to play swap back and forth. I don't.
No, I
I,
don't think so.
I,
Most teams don't do that.
I think Fleury's going to run. I think they'll run with Fleury. You never know though, because Vegas does things unconventionally. Could certainly be the case, unless maybe Bill,
Or
maybe Bill knows something we don't. Maybe he's heard something I don't know about. Maybe they actually have
or
said
or,
they're going to do that.
or if Vegas goes up 3-1 on a series, maybe they give Fleury a rest and then put Leonard in there to just kind of clean up the mess,
Oh yeah,
or
for
not the
sure.
mess, but just clean up the series, whatever. I could see that like a little bit of in between. A few teams did that last year, but I feel like for the most part, teams just go with one goal in, like, and they're like, all right, you're the guy, go in there. Um, so I don't think they're gonna go Fleury one game and Leonard one game and Fleury and like blah blah blah. I don't think they're gonna go that way.
It's hard to get in a
Um,
rhythm as a goaltender doing that.
Yeah, I think they're just going to ride with Fleury, and they know that Fleury's like almost at the very end of his career, and it seems like let's just say Fleury doesn't retire after this year. It seems like they're going to protect Leonard over Fleury, and then Seattle's going to take Fleury. So then Fleury has to go to another expansion team. So that's crazy to think about. Fleury's just going on the move the past couple of years because I can see.
I think Fleury's got an NMC, and I don't think he's going to waive it to go to Seattle. You never know. He's got a
Oh, he
no.
does.
I think
Oh,
he's
he
got a
does
no
have that.
movement clause. You never know. I mean, he might, but
I
uh,
didn't think about. I forgot about the no movement clause.
yeah, I think
So they can protect both of them then. Oh wait, never mind. Vegas is not even eligible for the whole thing
no. Yeah,
anyway.
what are
That's
we
never mind.
talking about? Yeah,
I
that's
forgot
right.
about that. I just now
Yeah,
remembered Vegas is the only one that doesn't have to lose any
Right,
players.
because they were expansion team. Right. Jeez.
Oh
How
gosh,
much
yeah,
I'd pay?
Vegas.
I've done that more than once this year. That's the sad.
Gosh, Vegas is so lucky.
That's
I'm
the
jealous
sad
of
part.
Vegas. They don't have to lose anybody to Seattle. They're gonna win a cup within the next 3 years. Honestly, they should at least.
Uh,
So then Leaves, Matthews, or Marner, they would win the Conn Smythe. One of the two.
you would think it'd be Matthews all day unless Nylander
Yeah,
does
he would be my
something.
number one. That dude is just so nasty, just disgusting, filthy, naughty, and a lot of words.
His
A lot of
shooting
words.
is like his shot is one of the best.
Brisker.
Who's got a bet? I mean, it's
Who's
Ovi.
he?
It's Ovi like. It's at least close to Ovi, if not as good as Ovi.
I think Matthews' wrister is better than
Oh
Ovi's.
yeah, his wrister, yeah.
I think Matthews has the best wrister in the entire league, but I think Ovi has the best slapper in the entire
Absolutely.
league.
To who even how many people actually slap shot much anymore? Ovi's like that.
Yeah, because most of the shooters are just wrist shots guys because they can just flick it real quick. But Ovi, it's like my one timer's coming, just letting everybody know, and then goalies are like, all right, still can't stop it, and just boom, just smacks it right on in there. It's so awesome to watch. It never gets old. I can watch it all day long. And then if the Canadians win, Carey Price. That's gonna clearly be the Conn Smythe.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, absolutely. They need him to crush.
they need him to like go into like Super Saiyan 5 mode in order for them to win the cup. They need him to like stop everything pretty much there. Oilers, duh, McDavid. If not McDavid, Draisaitl. It's gonna be one of the two.
I would be McDavid for sure. Oh,
Yeah,
that
but like if not him,
uh,
Draisaitl.
he,
But yeah,
yeah, but Ovechkin's got. It's worth watching the game just to see Ovechkin. Yeah, wind up for the slap shot. I agree. I love watching Washington games. I can't wait till they go on the power play. I want to see.
yeah. It's like
I,
it'll be one timer. Let's go.
I want to see that one timer that everybody knows is coming but can't stop it. Like it is.
So great.
There's
I love
never
it.
been a shot like that in the
It's my
NHL.
favorite shot in all of hockey. I
It's
always like
it's
am
the
on the edge of my seat. Like, all right,
it's the
this
best shot ever. Nobody's had a shot like that. Nobody's ever had a shot like okay, you got Mike Bossy. He had a
Yeah.
cool shot from the slot, right? But it was deceiving, and you didn't know where he was going to shoot from a lot of the time, and he was sneaky, and he would just end up being there, and all that kind of stuff like that. Here's this guy. I've never seen anything like this before Ovechkin, where he's just sitting there. The closest would have been Bobby Hall. The closest would have been Hall.
Brett Hall had a good shot
Or
too.
sorry, I meant to say Brett Hall. Brett Hall.
Yeah,
Brett
had a
Hall
nice
was a lot
shot.
like Ovechkin that way, where he would just sit there waiting for the puck to get him. Everybody knew he was there, and he would shoot. But he's a distant second to that. That shot is
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
insane.
such an amazing shot. Top left circle. Ovi's just standing there. Sometimes he'll like move around a little bit. Like sometimes they'll have him move down low a little bit. Sometimes they'll have him like switch with Carlson. Sometimes they'll have Ovi like near the top of the point. But for the most part, he's in that top left circle, hanging out like this for like a solid minute.
Yeah,
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to fire the cannon. Just like,
yeah.
all right, Backstrom, all right, Carlson, feed me, and then just it's just so I love it. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite. If the Jets happen to win it, which I think they're the worst team in the entire playoffs, I don't expect them. Well, we already said Oilers in 5, whatever. Hellebuck, that's got to be, or Blake Wheeler possibly too. I think Blake Wheeler is underrated, and I think he's a darn good hockey player. But Hellebuck would be my favorite for that team.
He would have to crush. I don't know. You would definitely would be my favorite, but they're gonna have to have somebody scoring. If Ehlers comes back, maybe Ehlers could. The
Isn't
way
he supposed to?
no, Ehlers is a winger. Yeah. If
No.
Ehlers comes back, I think he could be he could win it. I mean, they've got some great centers there. Like Wheeler probably wouldn't, but Scheifele, his two-way play and everything, he could go off. But more than likely, they're going to need Hellebuck to just be stupid to win the
Yeah.
cup for sure.
They would
Hellebuck,
need him to go back to like his last year form.
Mercer, yeah, says he'd have to be a brick wall for Winnipeg to win the cup. He'd have to do Hasek like stuff for
Yeah,
them to
for
win the
real.
cup. Yeah,
And
I
then we talked about the okay. So then the Avalanche, there's a bunch of people like McCarr could do it, McKinnon could do it, Grubauer could do it,
yeah.
and then if the Blues do it,
O'Reilly, it'd be almost certainly O'Reilly or
yeah,
Bennington goes into some. It's always could be the goaltender, right? At
yeah,
all.
that is a good point. Like a goaltender can just get hot at like any given time. It's so weird, like how that works, because that was part of the reason why I didn't have the Blues going far during the Cup year, because I'm like, oh, Bennington, like he doesn't have a whole lot of experience. I don't know about this guy, and then like he had a good playoff run, so yeah. I mean, yeah. Any goalie, it just seems like could get hot. It's very weird. Goalies are just so fickle in hockey. It's quite strange. It's very interesting.
It's funny. I used to play net, not in like ice hockey, but I used to play a net a lot on in ball hockey, and I was like average. But every once in a while, you just get in a zone you can't explain, and you just stop everything. Just bang, 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 and you can't explain it. Like you don't know why or how to stay there or whatever. You just keep on going, and then within like almost as fast as it came, you can't stop nothing.
Yeah.
It usually goes that way where it just all of a sudden you can't stop anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then the Wild, it would be Kaprizov.
Probably. Yeah, that's another one of those ones that would have a team, a player just kind of go off like a Greenway or something. Watch out for him, actually. Next
Mm.
2 years, Greenway, he is going to be like, he's going to be one of the top, say, at least 10 wingers in the game. Greenway, I think. He's freaking beastly. Love that guy. And or Talbot. Talbot could go off again. It's always could be the goaltender, but
Yeah,
Kaprizov is probably going to be the guy. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
yeah. He's been incredible this year, man. So Pearl, I don't think I asked you this. What NHL series, like playoffs, at least the first round, going back to round one, what are you most excited to watch?
hmm, that's a good question. It's a good question. I haven't really thought about it to tell you the honest truth.
I'm just the type of guy that's like a little kid, and I like can't wait. I'm like, I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for this
Yeah,
one. I
yeah.
mean,
Uh,
I already said Caps and Bruins, and then um, Battle of Florida.
the Battle of Florida will be probably the Battle of Florida because I really think Tampa Bay is going to get a wake up call on that one. Honestly, I really do. Uh,
I just
and and it'll be so awesome to watch Florida have success, especially if there's fans there. That would be pretty cool. To watch the Panthers have success would be pretty cool.
yeah, that would be cool. And they haven't won a playoff series in so long. I'll be rooting for them. And I
Uh,
mean, also too, like they're winning that series in my bracket, so yeah, I gotta root for that. I have a little bit of money in my bracket, more in the pool, but I like to win money. So, anyways, so yeah, if I had to rank it 1 through 8, like I'm ranking Star Wars movies, not counting that terrible Episode 9, I would have Caps and Bruins, like duh, Caps fan, good matchup, whatever. Caps and Bruins, I'm most excited for. Battle of Florida, Panthers, Lightning, and people comment, what are you most excited for? Let's go. And then number 3, in terms of my anticipation, um, I think I might have to go with Leafs and Canadians. I'm just very curious to see if Toronto can break that curse. Also, too, like I have money riding on the Canadians, of course, and then my girlfriend has the Leafs in her pool, so that's a nice little matchup, almost kind of like me versus her in a bit of a sense there. So Leafs Canadians hasn't happened in forever. And then after that, my number 4 most anticipated Um, I would probably say Canes and Predators. I think that one's very interesting. And then my number 5, I like Avs and Wild. I think that'll be an interesting one too. Kaprizov almost single-handedly made that team interesting to watch. Um, number 6, I would say Avs and Blues. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that Avs and Blues could be pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say Avs and Blues 6. And then 7, I would say Pens and Islanders. Maybe I might have that one higher. But my problem is the Islanders don't play sexy hockey.
No, they don't. If they're gonna
It's
win,
like,
it's gonna be boring as all heck. Yeah.
yeah, they're not the most exciting team to watch. I mean, they gotta do what they gotta do. They get the job done.
They're like the Devils back in the day of this generation, where you just couldn't stand it.
Yeah,
Just like watching
yeah,
paint dry, watching
yeah,
them play.
yeah. And then my least anticipated one's Oilers and Jets, because it's like Oilers are just gonna crush them. I don't really. That's the series to me that'll be the least competitive. So that would be my most anticipated to least anticipated. But I mean, hey, you never know. So there's definitely some good ones in there. The top 2, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I'm gonna be really. What did you say? Dubnyk back in net for the Wild? No, the Dubnyk is over on the Avs now. Bill, he got traded to the Avs.
Yeah,
They got Cam Talbot. They picked up Cam Talbot from Calgary
yeah.
in the off season. I think Carolina, Nashville. There's something about that Nashville team that Carolina's got to really be careful with that team. Let's put it this way: they're not going to get outworked.
Yeah, what I say they were my number 3. No, they were my number 4.
Yeah.
Well, and a little bit of that too is my pool, because I have the Canes in my pool. My girlfriend's dad has the Predators, so again, a little bit of some bragging rights on the line and all that stuff too. But yeah, I agree. Canes are fun to watch too. I think they got some good talent to watch. I just like that matchup. I find that interesting. Canes are a pretty fun team to watch. So yeah, there's some good ones. I am pumped. I wish it was tonight. I was like, oh, no playoffs tonight. Just a few meaningless games that I don't care about.
Yeah.
But it's whatever though. I've taken a little tiny bit of a breather the past few days because I'm just ready for all my hockey watching, starting tomorrow night, all the way up to middle of July.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably doing some live streams.
Yeah.
They're
Still enjoying my summer.
I'm gonna do some live streams every once in a while here, probably with Off the Wall John, and maybe with Peyton as well, especially for the Oilers. Him and I are both Oilers fans.
Oh, okay.
And
what team's Off the Wall? What's he like?
oh, he's freaking awesome, man. Off the wall.
No. I know he's good. I've seen him once or twice. I mean,
Oh.
what team does he like?
Oh, what team does he like? He's a Bruins fan.
Oh, okay.
Die-hard Bruins
Yeah,
fan.
I think
You know
I've
what?
seen his
You know what I found about Bruins fans? Because I just, by the way, we just did a Eastern Conference playoff prediction video. It's coming out right away. We did it with the Sweethearts, Slapshot Sweethearts, 2 ladies that have a channel together. They're freaking awesome. You gotta check them out. They know they know their hockey, and they're very blunt. I love them. They're fantastic. But anyways, we did it with them, and one of them is a Boston fan, one of them is a Pittsburgh Penguins fan.
Oh, interesting.
And I have found Bruins fans are the most it's like they don't want to admit that they don't want to say that their team is. They have the least confident fans in the league. Like they're just like, yeah, well, I'll wait and see it. They don't believe that their team's going to win. And what John says is, it might be, I don't know if it's cultural or what. They don't want to get themselves so up that when they lose that they are crushed by it, so they can just say, yeah, I knew that was going to happen, so whatever. I I don't know how many are like that, but I've met quite a few Bruins fans, and over time I've just started to realize that a lot of them are like that. It's really neat.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know too many Bruins fans. My girlfriend's best friend's boyfriend isn't that into hockey, but he's from the Boston area. But like
Okay.
he'll say he likes the Bruins, and he's moving near me tomorrow, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna be forced to watch playoff hockey, especially since the Caps play the Bruins. So I'm gonna try my hardest to get him into it. Hockey is the best sport in the world. I'm saying that as a guy that has watched NFL since I was like in elementary school. I mean, I've been a Ravens fan, as you can see right there, forever, blah, blah, blah. But hockey is the best. I started getting into it in 2015, I think, and went to a game a couple months after watching it for a little bit with a guy I lived with. And I was like, wow, where have I been for the past 20 some years? Like,
Yeah.
like seriously, it's like this sport is awesome, and then watching the playoffs more and more, it's the most intense thing in the world, especially when all the fans are back in there. I miss Doc. I wish he didn't retire because Doc just makes it so hype.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
he could hype like a dog taking a poop. You know, like he can hype anything. It's awesome. I like people like that. Like I like that someone has that just like that amazing voice that can just pump things up. Like, all right, let's go. So like combining all of that, like playoff hockey is the best. Overtime, sudden death. Like last year there was 5 overtimes between the Lightning and the Blue Jackets. Like that was so intense, and that was like game one or game two, whatever it was. But
yeah. Yeah.
hockey is the best. ESPN needs to talk about it religiously once that deal goes into effect next season. Hopefully, they can help grow the game.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Oh, you just have to show the game to grow the game. I'm stoked for more American fans coming to love hockey. I too. Obviously, being Canadian, I'm more probably going to lean to hockey, but I've really
yeah,
tried to give her a go with football. I like it, but it's just not comparable to me. I just I to
yeah.
me I just love it. But I
I get
really
it.
want more Americans loving the game. I don't call this a Canadian game. I think it's just a game, and
Right.
I'm glad that Gary Bettman has started to get away from that Canadian game stuff. It's it's not because if I'm living in the United States or whatever, and I hear, oh, it's a Canadian game, I'm going to be like, well, it's a Canadian game. You're just not attached to it, like we're owning
Well,
it or something like that.
right,
And
right. But it's
we've been doing that for years, and it's
yeah.
I'm so glad we're stopping because it's not. It's a great game. Period. End of
Yeah,
story.
yeah, it's an international game. Like it's mostly popular in Canada. Like you all like eat, sleep, and drink and breathe and whatever hockey. Like
Sure.
here in America, like yeah, it's football by far. Um, but like I don't know, just like watching all that more. Like there are things I like about football, which is like my number two. Than hockey, like I like fantasy football, regular season football. Like I like that we can dedicate like one day every week, every Sunday. Like, all right, time to watch football for 8 hours, NFL Red Zone, and then like I like that every single game matters. As with like hockey, basketball, baseball, there's like a trillion games. Like oh, your team can lose 5 games in a row, but it doesn't really matter. So football, it's like oh crap, my team lost 2 games in a row. Like we might not win the division. Like and then it's all mayhem. Like I get more emotionally invested in Ravens games than I do with Caps a lot of times for that reason. And maybe that's also because I've liked the Ravens a lot longer too. But I mean, they're both great. I like sports with violence. That's why I like UFC. For the UFC fans in here, there's some awesome fights tomorrow night. Check that out. I know that has nothing to do with hockey, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm kind of going on a tangent there. I don't mean to like
it's all good.
be all weird to the vibe, whatever. We have 6 minutes left, so whatever. Also,
Hope and Glory says the Boston Red Sox fans are also very unconfident, and
yeah, I've heard that.
maybe that's where the Boston Bruins fans get it from. Is like they've had
Yeah.
so many letdowns in Boston that it's
Hmm.
just like ah. But
Also, too,
the thing is, the Leafs have had
a
letdowns after
lot,
letdowns
a
for
lot,
decades,
a
but their
lot.
fans always think the Leafs are going to win. It is
Yeah,
crazy. Like the brute, like they're not like they don't seem to be. They seem to be impervious to the letdowns, and they have a belief that is just absolutely crazy and unwarranted. I,
You
I
know what I would like to see? You know what would be cool if my Caps don't get there? A Leafs and Boston Cup final. Oh my gosh,
that
I
would be
don't know if
cool.
Leafs fans could handle that.
That would be awesome. The
Oh man, that would be crazy. That would be absolutely wild. A Leafs and a Boston Cup final. That would be like
well,
that would be
the Leafs
amazing.
and Habs alone is going to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm excited for
I
that
really
series.
hope Montreal keeps it close because I mean that is an epic rivalry, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
so if you were to have Leafs Montreal and then a Leafs Boston in the same Stanley Cup playoffs,
oh my gosh, yes,
oh
yes. That
man,
would be insane. That would be utterly insane. I mean, there's so many different things that can happen. Yeah, I've heard Buffalo has some good fans too,
they've
because
got
like Buffalo
amazing
has
fans.
sucked in sports for so long. The Bills just got good a few years ago, but the Sabres have been garbage for a long time. One of the teachers that I work with is like, I don't care about hockey anymore because my Sabres suck. I'm like, dude, just watch the playoffs. Like, whatever. Like, if my Caps sucked, I'd still watch the playoffs. Whatever. Um, but yeah, I know a few Buffalo sports fans, but yeah, they just know that their team sucks. Like, oh, if the Sabres get to the playoffs, it's a good season for us, kind of thing. Like that's pretty much like their goal of the season, just to get to round one. And I wonder what's going to happen with Eichel because I think he has like some surgery coming up with his neck. I think he stays in Buffalo. I don't think they're gonna like ditch him or anything. I don't think he'll end up getting traded.
He's got to go through surgery and all that kind of stuff first. But Buffalo sports fans are the most. Let's put it this way: in areas where there are teams in different sports, where there will be it'll be televised on nationally, and there will be more Buffalo people watching their team, watching the game than the team that it's actually from. Buffalo
Yeah.
sports fans are the most, they watch more sports than anyone. And for them to have such a crapola team like the Sabres for as long as they have is brutal. I really hope that they get a team going there in Buffalo eventually.
It's
Like,
gonna be a while. It's gonna be a long time before the Sabres are good again.
yeah, CL mentioned that. They do have fantastic fans. They're very knowledgeable, they're very respectful. By the way, Leafs fans, are very respectful fans. I really like they're a little off the deep end when it comes to their positivity towards their team, as far as I'm
They
concerned.
shouldn't. They shouldn't be positive. They've been in the cup since 1967. Why would you be positive?
Yeah,
So
they've
many,
got
so many letdowns. Just a lot, a lot of
they
letdowns.
they've got we'll get them next year down pat for sure. Um,
Next
but
year, next year, next year,
but
next
but
year.
but they're also some of the most great fans to talk to about hockey. They're very knowledgeable about everything about hockey, and they're not like angry. They're not angry people. They're not angry people, and they should be, but they're not. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, should be. I
CL
don't,
has an awesome
shouldn't say they
comment.
should be, but they would be understandable if they were. I suppose I should say.
CL said their tailgates look insane. People jumping through tables. Yeah, the Bills Mafia. I would love to go to a Bills game just to see that. So it's 4:59 here. I'm sure we're just wrapping it up. One
Yeah.
more thing. It has nothing to do with hockey at all, but I'm just excited today. It was a good day for me. Um, my coworker brought me Dunkaroos. I haven't had those in many years. So for those of you millennials in that comment section, I had some Dunkaroos and they were the bomb. And also too, J. Cole just dropped his album today. That is fire. Go listen to it after this not podcast, this show, whatever. Listen to that J. Cole album. It is fire. Check it out right away. Don't do anything else.
Yeah,
That's all I have.
we'll have to talk music sometime. Maybe we'll start a music channel. You know me,
Oh, jeez.
I've got the all
Jeez.
genres music channel that you're part of there, right?
Oh yeah, the Facebook group.
I love
Yeah.
all music. So,
Yeah,
talking
that's
about that,
cool.
where can they get a hold of you? Steel Flyers, but
Dunkaroo, yes. Kyle Mercer knows what's good.
I know what
Yes.
Dunkaroos are. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
Yes. But it
Yeah.
was more so the millennials like myself that liked them.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm right. I'm
Dunkaroos.
right on the edge of the millennial. Right. I'm like right on the edge.
I think you would probably be before.
Just in the middle. Just in the
Just in the
middle.
middle.
Yeah, just in the middle. Like not
I
in
feel
the
like
not
Dunkaroos
not
have
in the middle.
stayed for a while. Now they're
In
back.
between millennial and Generation X. I'm right there. Right there.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like I just feel like Dunkaroos were getting scarce, but I just remember being a kid and just loving
but
Dunkaroos.
we got them here in Canada all over the place. You can still get
Yeah,
them.
like I was at my work like a 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this person that I work with, she was like, "Yeah, there's Dunkaroos at the 7-Eleven right down the street." And then today she's like, "Hey, guess what I got you?" And she like tossed Dunkaroos. I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna devour these things." So, but that's really all I have to say. Thank you so much for having me on. I was so pumped to do this show. I'm all like full of energy, and I'm just ready for 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, Caps and Bruins game one. I'm ready to get on hyped. I got my new Ovi jersey with the reverse retro. I'm going to show that off real quick because I feel like it. It has so much drip too. There's that Ovi retro. That is a beautiful jersey. I'll be wearing that a lot.
There you go. Cool. Nice. All right. So you can catch E Money on the Money podcast. He's
Nope.
fantastic.
I
No,
retired from that.
you retired from it.
A couple
Oh,
weeks ago, yeah.
oh. Okay. So we're
Yeah,
going.
I'm
You're
just doing
going
some more
hard.
shows with you
You're
guys. That's
going
all. Yeah.
hardcore with Steel Flyers now. Woo!
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of got tired of it. I'm like, this is just kind of too much work, and like, I'm such a busy guy where I'm like, let me just do some shows with you guys like once or twice a week, and I can get all my like
Cool.
sports talk out of the way, get all out of my system. So
Awesome.
yeah, you can just catch me on here. I'm exclusively Steel Flyers.
Well, yeah, I'll welcome you. Well, you're welcome here anytime. I'm sure we'll see you next week. We will definitely be doing some playoff stuff for sure. It's going to be
I'll have to make
awesome.
my own show. I've thought
Mon-
about that.
yeah, get your own show. I'll come on your show.
Yeah.
Monday, I'll be 3 to 5, and we'll be talking all the playoffs and the land
Nice.
there on for the weekend. So
Yeah.
we didn't do picks for those, but that's okay because we're going to be changing things up. I have Hockey News Reports. I don't know where he's been. He's working on some sort of playoff thingamajigger that we can do. I'll let him create what he wants, and we'll do it. But that's our full 42. Thank you all for coming in, and it's great having you. It was a great having you, E, again, and hopefully next week. I mean, next week we'll be able to do it again. Get your own show going. That'd be great.
Yeah, I thought about having one for hockey and football. Like I thought about having hockey as like money puck, and then football is like money ball or like something like that. Just have them both like separate. I don't know. There's
Sweet.
just a few thoughts like going into my head the past few days about it. So
Nice. I would love
yeah.
to. I'd love to do that. That'd be great. Okay, that's our full 42. Have a great weekend, everybody. Okay, bye.
Bye.